Issue 136. After a brief recap of the previous story, it's revealed that the boss of Mighty's father was told to defeat Crimson Cobra and is told off for thinking Sonic was him. Yes, comic, I've read the previous story. Can you get to the point? His boss insults him for not putting a chemical in the city's water supply, proving he's evil for wanting him to do that for no reason. His boss reveals that he can control his mind, and at any time he can command his brain to shut down permanently. Then they see the Chaotix coming in through the blue fog and are happy to find some new slaves. The Chaotix complain about the swamp smell, with Charmy randomly liking it and being told to shut up. Vector falls in the swamp and gets grabbed by the legs by the mud monster, requiring Mighty to pull him out. And we see a whole bunch of mud people trying to threaten them. Sonic's spin attack just gets him all muddy, and we have a humorous exchange where Espio snarks, "I guess that showed him, Sonic." And Sonic says, "Oh, shut up, Espio," from being embarrassed. Espio complains that the guy he's punching splitting into two isn't fair, and Vector has some mud thrown at him. Sonic creates a tornado wind, but the spores knock him out anyways, and I guess the mud broke its fall, and he was pulled out of it just in time to not drown in it. Unfortunately, the story ends there because it was padded out at the beginning. In the next story, as I expected, Knuckles being blind doesn't prevent him from grabbing onto the island, gliding up to it, and climbing up into the tunnel. A rock falls beneath his feet to the land below, and he jumps away just in time, and the vine he's trying to hold onto breaks from its weight. Why didn't he just climb up the island like normal? Sure, it's not an upright vertical surface, but that never stopped me in the games. Knuckles sees a hatch leading into the island's tunnel system, wishes he could remember his way around it, and some bats fly out of it, startling him, and making him show a rare moment of humility and vulnerability where he says that some days he wishes someone else was the guardian. Oh, the villains are nicknamed Alpha, Beta, Gamma, and Delta. That's not confusing in retrospect at all. They aren't even robots. How does that make sense? We cut to Porker watching the Emerald Chamber viewer in a panic, and he actually does something by sending guard robots after the villains. After one of them says that a secret tunnel from the pyramid will lead them to the Chaos Chamber, and I wonder how they even know that, they get confronted by 5 flying guard robots. And then they were all killed. The end. In the next story, Amy and Techno are sent to a hot orange planet by the Ring of Eternity, and Techno is finally self-aware that they're the aliens being the visitors here. They see some lighter blue cavemen going to attack the darker blue ones, with one being a clear bully and go to defend them, with Amy shooting a crossbow. This makes the tribe flee from thinking they have powerful magic, with Amy clearly simply using a clever tool made of wood. And Techno lampshades that they're cowards. Good thing these aliens speak their language, or we probably wouldn't have a story, or a whole story arc. I prefer this to Techno somehow being able to make an alien translator in 2 seconds, though. But at least Archie was realistic and not treating you like an idiot about it, because Sonic had to have a universal translator in his brain to understand all the aliens in the first place. Techno reasons that the weaker tribe would only use their weapons in self-defense. Somehow, she knows that. And Amy reasons that if the other tribe responds with bigger weapons, it could start a war from escalation. How would the other tribe make weapons better than Amy's crossbow that fast with no way to research it? How would they assume that? Amy comes up with a plan, and later on we see the weaker tribe laughing at the stronger one and trying to have them believe that it's old hat to fight these days. Completely unrealistically, this actually gets the other tribe not to fight them, even though one of them literally says he's looking forward to beating them up, and they buy this lie from them. This is treating me like an idiot. We see the blue alien try to figure out the cause of their anger, and Techno hopes that they'll develop into a non-violent culture because of them. This is such an overly idealistic. I hope something more realistic happens after this because of her hope spot here. Nope. That was insultingly easy. Good thing the tribe listened to 2 female outsiders trying to make a plan for them and carried it out, instead of being sexist and stuff or fearing them just as much as the strong tribe did for their powerful magic. The ridiculous story ends with them being teleported to their next destination, with Amy for some reason saying she invented cucumber sandwiches, and isn't sure if that's a good thing. Huh? In the next story... Oh, good news for my hands, it's just a reprint. There goes Precious Comics Space. The first 2 stories were by Nitro Kitchen. The first story revealed that Mighty's father is only working for the creature in the swamp because he would kill him otherwise. And the Chaotix and Sonic get knocked out and kidnapped by mud people of the creature. Once again, it's hard to get fully invested in the story arc when all of its stories so far are so short and cut off so early. And there's no excuse for that when there's padding in the comic that could have been removed. Like the recap at the start, or the reprint. The second story was about Knuckles going into the tunnels of the island, and Porker sending guard robots to the villains heading for the emeralds. That's it. And since the entire fourth story of the comic is wasted on a reprint, there's no excuse for so little happening, because that extra space could have been used more productively and ended one or two story arcs faster. I'm so glad Archie never thought padding out the main comic issues with reprints was a good idea. It stuck reprints in separate volumes, like archives, in a Sonic Super Special instead. Hopefully this is the last time I'll let myself complain about this stupid practice, because I've got nothing left to say about it. Loose Stringer wrote the final story, which was at least self-contained and sort of concluded itself in one issue for a change. But its writing was forced as hell. There's flat out no reason that any of the stories should have gone the way it did. The alien shouldn't be able to speak English, the villain shouldn't have ran away in fear from just one girl having a great weapon that could only be used against one person at a time while she could still be ambushed from the side or behind. The good cavemen could have been just as afraid of them for their new weapons and assumed they would use them against them. And Amy and Techno are very lucky they listened to and carried out the plan cooked by some female outsiders they just met. Which somehow worked, instead of the warlike tribe fighting anyways. It was just contrived and condescending. There's no way it would have worked out the way it did.